Good morning. It is swim day. I'm hitting the pool. Got a 1 hour workout with the masters to kick off the morning, then some yoga and a run.
Welcome to forever, man. Let's go. Come on. This forever. No surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. Go. And there will be no surrender. Now allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me J.O. N to the easy E-N. Know that we undefeated. Y'all are beneath them speeches trying to air a grievance. But his lines are overhead. Better check the air for clearance. Call the tower. This is ours. Clear the heat. The air apparent. Really, I've never been better. Legacy, this is forever. All the more times I've been seven. I'm raising the bar. You can go ahead and measure. Think about.
Well, that was a great swim. 3,700 yards. Felt really, really good. Really strong. Man, things are coming together with my swim. I just had my fastest swim, which we'll talk about, at Santa Cruz. Fastest half Ironman swim I've ever had. And I just feel quicker and I can see it. My times are coming down in this 3,700 yards today. We did a bunch of 200s, 150s, 100s. The 200s were on 3 minutes and I was coming in under at least 20 seconds every single time. The 100s were on 130, coming in around 118, 121, and things are clicking. Now, I don't want to just simply say I'm getting faster because I don't necessarily think if you time me in a 50 or a 100 that I'm getting faster. I know I can go I haven't done it in a long time. We'll say 106, I think was the last time that I timed it. So I can go 106, but consistently through the workout, that's where I was tanking off, starting to fall off really fast. But now, with almost 7 months, I think, under my belt of consistent swimming again, I am seeing those times that I can swim fast extend throughout the workout. So now I'm swimming at that 120, 124, that speed, all the way through the workout instead of dropping off. So the key there is the consistency. It's not that my form is really changing all that much. It's that I am able to take the speed that I have in that first 10 minutes of the workout and extend that much further into the workout. Now I'm gonna make some breakfast real quick before I do yoga, but I have been hooked on the PROATS. Oatmeal, using the coach's oats with some protein powder, some fruit. So good every single day. So good. You need a blueberry in every bite. One of my go-to breakfast meals right now is protein powder mixed in with Coach's Oats, oatmeal. It is fantastic. I love coming home after a run or a bike or a swim, whatever it is, making up my oatmeal, getting my coffee. I do 2 1/3 cups, so 2/3 cup of oatmeal, 2 cups of water. I also put a little bit of cinnamon in there, 1 scoop of protein, and mix it all up. It's fabulous. I use chocolate protein powder, and that, along with this, makes for the perfect breakfast meal. And usually that sets me up for a great day, and then either a lunch workout later or an evening workout, but delicious. It has been a little over a week since the race, I guess a week and 1 day, and I've been quiet. I have not put out a video. It's been just hectic, getting back from the race, getting caught up on stuff, getting back into recovery training. Last week, I got about 13 hours of training in, 2 swim sessions, 3 bikes. Yesterday, I did a hilly ride with about 4,000 feet of elevation, and I got in about 15 miles of running. So 13 hours, cut back a little bit, cut back the intensity, just recovering, and I'm feeling good. And now this week, ramping the training back up. Next weekend, I'm headed on a trip. We will talk about that. But right now, I'm gonna hit some yoga, and when I'm done with that, we'll talk about the race. All right, well, let's talk next weekend and what's going on while I finish up my coffee. Sunday, I'm headed to Maui, and I'm going out for a retreat, and I am super excited to be participating for the experience, to document it, create videos, things like that, and I am really, really excited to get to take part in that. But I'm going early because the retreat doesn't start until Wednesday. It goes Wednesday until Sunday. I am going early because I am going to be training with BJ, my coach, who the following week will be competing in the Ironman World Championships in Kona. So I'm taking my bike and we'll be swimming, cycling, running in Maui with BJ leading into his final week before going to Kona. So I am super excited to get that opportunity to go out, hang out with the team, and meditate, do yoga, just partake in the experience. We're staying at an amazing retreat. I'll talk more about that later. And just to get to train on the island.
All right, guys.
I'll give it all.
Inhale.
You can have my heart.
And then breathe really good.
You can have my soul. I'll give it all.
I love me some seltzer. All right, well, let's talk about the race. It's probably why you came to this video, and here I've made you sit through, 8 minutes of everything but the race. Well, if you watch the race series, you know that I had a blast while I was up there in Santa Cruz, and I went into this race just amazingly calm. I didn't have any major nerves. Even the morning of the race, I always have a really hard time eating. I got up, no problem. English muffin, peanut butter, banana, honey. It went down super easy. Coffee, sports drink, everything went great. So going in, I think I just knew that there was no pressure on this race. I had kind of lost a little bit of focus on my 70.3 training over the summer while doing a bunch of the sprint, swim, runs, and that had kind of beat me up a little bit, but I had a blast. So coming into this, my expectations were not super high. I wanted to break 5 hours, and that was my goal. I had gone 440 in Oregon. I knew my swim was at least 12 minutes faster than it would be in a normal 70.3 without a current. So I knew 450, 455. I knew this was a rolling course, but I wasn't sure. So I went in just saying, hey, my training had been a little bit less. I had had to recover more since I was doing those hard sprint races. So let's go for 5 hours and see what happens. Got out of the hotel nice and early, drove down to the start, got there before transition opened, just kind of hung out. Actually got some quiet time once I got into transition because I got everything set up really fast, went over, sat on these little bleachers, and I was sitting there, eyes closed, just doing some breathing, a little meditation. And as I opened my eyes, when I was finished, Ari Clow, he's been on my podcast. You know him. He's a pro triathlete, most likely. You know who he is. He comes walking up and he says, hey, what's going on? So I have seen him at multiple races. It's always great to see him and get to race with him. But that was a really cool way to kind of kick off the race. From there, got out of transition, down to the swim early, and got down there to feel the water, watch the sunrise, did a short run. This is the first time I've actually gotten to do this, but I did a short run to get the heart rate up in the wetsuit right before getting in the chute. I wanted to be up close to the chute, right around the 30 or right in front of the 30-minute swim. So did that quick run, got the heart rate up, was warm, got in the chute, went really close to the front of the race. Got a great start on the swim. It's a run in and the water is super calm. Ran in, jumped in, started swimming, didn't go super hard. BJ, my coach, went just in front of me 5 seconds. So got in the water and actually was able to catch up to him. And him and I swam pretty much eye to eye all the way out to the end of the pier. And this swim, you go around the pier and come back in, and right around the buoy that you turn right on to go sideways before you turn back in to come back to the beach. I lost him in there somewhere, but rounded the pier, came in, was starting to feel a little bit tired towards the end of the swim, but I felt like it was a really strong swim. Hit the beach, running in, looking at the clock, look at my watch and change it. And when I did that, I noticed my watch was really low 30. It was like 30:03 or 30, just really, really right on the edge of 30. So I felt really great about that. I couldn't believe it. That was my fastest swim I have ever had. I ended up swimming officially 30 minutes and 1 second. So close to going sub 30. My previous fastest swim in a half Ironman was 34 minutes. And that doesn't count Oregon. Oregon was 18 something. That doesn't count because it's in a river. Super, super happy with that. That was the biggest success by far of the day. At that point, running to transition, you actually go up the beach, across the street, across railroad tracks, down this long paved path, which is super rough. It's pretty hard on the feet, just trying to stay really light, all the way over to transition. Got my bike, got my shoes on, no issue this time in Oregon. I kind of stumbled around a little bit. Everything went really smooth, got out of T1, and I think right around 5 minutes. And a lot of that is running from the beach all the way to T1. Hopped on the bike, and when you leave Santa Cruz, you are winding through the little downtown area, right on the bluffs. It's beautiful, gorgeous houses. The beach is on your left side, but it's super technical. You can't really just drop in arrow the whole time. So you kind of wind out of that all the way up to Highway 1. And I got onto Highway 1 and was feeling really good, just riding super strong, staying arrow. This is a rolling course. I had been told that the momentum from the down will carry you up the uphill. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I think you had to work pretty hard to get up the uphills, and I know that I was working really hard because my wattage, the average wattage I pushed for that entire 56 miles was 248 watts. So I know I was working really hard. I actually had my fastest bike split that I have ever had, but I had a problem on the bike. About 5 miles in, once I got onto Highway 1, as you go down Highway 1, there are these things called rumble strips, and they are little divots in the highway. You know, as you take your car and you start to veer off the road, they they bounce your car around, bounce your tire around, so you pull back on the road. Well, those are in between the road and the shoulder, or the little bit of bike shoulder there. And I got on the other side of that. So I was trapped in there and was riding and riding and riding. And at some point I just said, you know what, I gotta get across this. It's kind of coming to an end, it's getting narrow. The road was shut down. I wanted to get on the other side. So I just went for it. And when I hit those bumps, I thought I was gonna go down. They were so hard that it actually ejected my arrow bottle, the bottle that slides on under my bars and attaches. It actually ejected that off of my bike, slammed on the ground, down behind me. I looked at it, and for a split second, I thought about stopping and getting it, but at that point, I couldn't even tell if it had shattered when it hit the ground. So all of my fluid, all of my calories, all of my electrolytes had just blown off my bike about 5 miles in. So from there, I was just waiting till the next aid station, riding hard, had a great ride, but I knew I was in trouble. And I got a Gatorade bottle and I drank some of that. And then I got another Gatorade bottle. But by the time I got off the bike, like I said, I had my fastest bike split that I've ever had, which was great. But by the time I got off the bike, I knew I was in trouble, that I had very little calories, very little electrolytes in me. So got off on the run, got out of T1 really fast, no problems there. Got on the run, and immediately I knew I wasn't going to have the race that I had at Oregon. I could just feel it. I was really struggling to run 7:30s, and eventually, after say the first mile, 7:30s felt good, and I maintained that almost all the way to the turnaround. At every aid station, I was trying to take in Gatorade, water, ice, water on the body because it was getting warm, and I was just too far behind, I think, at that point. When you get out about mile 5, you go onto a trail, and this was a fairly technical trail. I had been told it was hard packed dirt. Well, it looked like it had been rutted out from rain. It was slanted and super bumpy, so that took a major toll on my legs. And by the time I got off of that, which is right around mile 8 is when you come back off of that, my legs were done. I was running 8:30s, and every single incline that I hit, my legs were cramping. My quads were just seizing up, and I would have to stop, stretch, walk, and then start running again. And that went on for the next 4 or 5 miles, all the way until the very, very end. But the entire time I was watching my watch, calculating in my head, can I pull off a sub 5-hour race? And many times I said, forget it, let's just stop. I was walking aid stations to try and consume as much as I could. Then I felt good, I'd run for a little while, hit an incline, and bam, legs would seize up again. So all in all, I ended up running 8:15s, and I crossed the finish line at 4 hours, 59 minutes, and 55 seconds. I had 5 seconds to spare to break 5 hours, and came across that finish line. I was so happy that I broke it. I was so happy to be done. The reason I knew I was in trouble is usually on the bike, I will go to the bathroom once or twice, then I will go to the bathroom right before the run, and I did not pee the entire day. When I finished the race, I started drinking Coke and water and Gatorade and drank for a couple of hours before I finally had to go to the bathroom. So I knew I was extremely underhydrated, and that was a major part of the problem. All in all, the race, I had a blast, was a success. Fastest swim, fastest bike, and my second fastest run. I ran 8:15s average. I hadn't run that fast prior to Oregon, where I ran 7:15. So all in all, I can't be really that upset. Then, after the race was done, we hung out, stayed around for awards. About 8 hours later, right as I was leaving, headed back to the hotel around 4:30, I decided to drive out on Highway 1 to look for my bottle. So I am on the hunt for my hydration system. I am on Highway 1 out here looking for the station, looking for my bottle. Oh, there it is. I thought there's no way it would be sitting on the side of the road, but hey, it's like $200 just laying there if it is. So drove out, spotted it, pulled off on the side of the road, jumped out, ran back, grabbed it. It actually was just fine. It was still full of fluid. It didn't even lose that much, and no cracks, little scrape on it, no cracks, clicks back on the bike, everything's fine. So at least that turned out well. Still got the bottle. Need to make sure that I never, ever hit rumble strips again. But all in all, not a bad race. Well, it is evening time. I just dropped my daughter off for volleyball. I have a 1 hour run now to knock out. Nice and easy, math, so 145 and below for my heart rate, just cruising. Just a nice, easy run.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They've been gone to sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.